will get you to the platform. I'll get him to pray for your baby. But she's not sure because she's been there for so long, waiting in desperation for her answer to come. And so they do the offering up, and she just feels a nudge, and she puts all $20. This is 1950s, 1960s, so it's a lot of money back then. Puts this $20 into the offering, which is her gas money to get home. And then he's just a bumbling preacher like me. He's just sharing bits around, telling hunting stories, which I can't do because I don't hunt. I can tell you scuba diving ones if you like. And he's just bumbling, and he's just waiting for that presence to come in like I was earlier. Just waiting for that presence to come in. And when it comes in, it was like people saw it as a light. It was like the Lord Jesus came down and stepped into him. And it says in that place all the secrets of the heart were revealed. And he's talking, he's calling this person out, he's discerning what the Lord's doing in this person, and this lady comes up. Oh no, sorry. He's on the platform and he's saying it, and he says, I'm seeing a vision right now. I see an old brown Ford car. I see a lady leaving a house, very poor, but very poorly dressed, putting a bassinet, a basket, in the back of the car. I see you driving. You're crossing this state line. I see you driving across this state line. I see you pulling up. You're pulling up outside a meeting. Lots of people. You're in this room. Where is that lady right now? And it's her. You feel the anointing come in. Every time I tell the story, it's just like, whoa. Faith rises. And he calls her forward. And she carries the baby forward. Oh, and I think just before she came forward, he said this baby needs a miracle. He needs 3. He needs 5. He needs 7, 13, 17. This child needs 21 creative miracles from the Lord. Bring that child to me now. This isn't a cold or backache or a headache. This is 21 creative miracles. And he holds the baby in his arms. And as he's holding the baby, through the sound system, you hear bones cracking, eyes appearing, head adjusting, bones coming back into arms twisting round to being normal. The baby had stumps for legs, no feet. RW says it was like balls of plasticine, Play-Doh coming along, and he said you could watch like an invisible hand shaping feet and toes until this foot moved. Organs, its heart was on the wrong side, and they could feel the heart start to beat on the right side as all this stuff got turned round inside the baby. And fingers and the mouth began to move, and in the end the child said, "Mummy." He's a foreigner. The secret things belong to God. But the things revealed belong to us and future generations. That's one man. There's going to be a company of people on the face of the earth doing miracles like that. Thousands of them. It would have been better had Satan have let the Lord Jesus live than have to deal with this army of the obedient that's arising, who's going to do just what he did whilst on the earth in human form. That's you and I, heaven's champion. And the Lord told us in April this year that having come through and crossed over, having been waiting at Gilgal, and stuff being stripped away and taken off us, removed from us, and everything else, he said, now I want you on Abraham's walk. Get up, leave your parents' home, leave your nation, and go to a place I will show you. When the music fades and all is stripped away, I can simply come. And that's where we are. We go back the 28th with no speaking dates, no potential ministry, no home to live in, no finance, no nothing. I'm being honest with you. And I'm not the only one right now who's going through this walk. There are loads of people we know who God's saying, you're to leave everything. You're to quit. You're to resign. You're just to wait on me for a season. Your assignment right now is over until I say you're to move again. And we don't understand it. It's not our strategy. We think we should be doing, and die. And then we think heaven's going to be doing, except there's no death. And it's just about being who He created us to be. It's about our heart. And to those who give up all, those who surrender all, I surrender all to Jesus, I surrender all. This day, people singing that chorus, He's going to take them up on it. He's going to take us at our word and say, okay, I'm going to take it all. But to those that give up all, who surrender all, they'll be the ones that will move in the greater power. History tells us that. Those books of God's generals tells you. Catherine Kuhlman said she could take you to the place where she died that he might live. Heidi Baker today, 3,000 churches in Mozambique, hundreds of thousands of orphans being fed every day by faith. By faith, little 5'0" blonde Californian girl leading a revival in Mozambique where they settle disputes by having a riot. That's their language. And the person holding the piece is this little 5'0" blonde Californian woman. And she's given up everything. And she lives by faith. Why? But it's part of her qualification process. But she's moving in great power. They have, she says they've got over 50, 60 medically documented cases of people being raised from the dead. And hundreds more that aren't documented. But they're only counting the documented ones because they can prove it. Greater works, doing what He did, to move in greater power. But this is going to cost us our all. Even when it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to. It only has to make sense to Him. That's why it's the army of the obedient. 2 Chronicles 16 verse 9 says, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show Himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to Him." Everything about becoming heaven's champions about our heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not look at his appearance or his physical stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. For the man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." 1 Chronicles 28:9 says, "As for you, my son Solomon, know the God of your father, and serve Him with a loyal heart and a willing mind. For the Lord searches all hearts and understands the intent of all thoughts. If you seek Him, He will be found by you. But if you forsake Him, He will cast you off forever." Jeremiah 17:10, "I, the Lord, search the heart, test the mind, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings." And the heart, with greater capacity for Him and greater capacity for His revelation, will run the greater races and achieve the greater prices. There's no shortcuts. I told you that last Saturday. I've spent 3 years trying to find every which way I can around it. And you see, David has this different heart. He has the heart of a champion. And in 1 Samuel 17, all he's doing is, this is this new generation that's arising. Raw faith. Absolute raw faith. And David comes up, and all he's doing is taking the bread to his brothers in the army. And Goliath, heaven's champion, the Palestinians, the Philistines' champion comes out, as was his custom every day, and taunts the Jewish army, Israel's army. And in those days, the Philistines would choose what was known as their dread champion, their strongest man. And you would see the Israelites were supposed to choose their strongest man. Those two would do battle, and whoever won, that they would win the war. Saved a lot of lives. But Goliath is their champion, and he's going out and he's taunting God's people all of the time. And David, this little boy, comes up, young man comes up, listens to this insult and says, who's going to take down this uncircumcised Philistine who dares to abuse the God of Israel? And he challenges everybody else around him by his raw faith. and his brothers and his family and everybody else get on his back, says, who sent you here? You're just arrogant.